Here's a game you should try, The Room. Developed by Fireproof Games, find yourself in a room with a mysterious puzzle box. Try to open it up using many different tools to learn what's really going on. Will your side of the other world show you the truth? I give it an 8 out of 10. Papers, Please. Developed by Lucas Pope, become the newest immigrations officer tasked with verifying the credentials of everyone entering the country. Analyze documents while burying your heart to be able to ensure the safety of your family. Will you bring glory to a Stoltzka or decide to develop a conscience? I give it an 8 out of 10. Her Story. Developed by Sam Barlow, go through the past interrogations of Hannah Smith after the recent mysterious death of Simon Smith. Search for keywords and clues to help unlock more of the archive and complete the story. Will you learn the truth, or leave the tale lost to time? I give it an 8 out of 10. Lisa the Painful. Developed by Dingaling, go through the horrific story of Brad as he searches for his daughter, the last girl alive. Deal with the barbarians of the wasteland and the traumas of your past life. Will you be able to leave the joy for her, or relapse into nothingness? I give it an 8 out of 10. SteamWorld Dig. Developed by Image Informs Games, play as Rusty, a robot who just inherited his uncle's mind. Explore the depths, get upgrades, and fight whatever's down below. Will you reach the bottom, or become scrap in the dirt? I give it an 8 out of 10. Carrion. Developed by PHOBIA Game Studio, play as an eldritch abomination, wreaking havoc in a facility it's contained within. Create nests, gain new mutations, and hunt down everything that's trapped with you. Will you strike fear into those who locked you up? I give it an 8 out of 10. Hollow Knight. Developed by Team Cherry, play as the Knight, a little bug on a big adventure exploring the Hollow Nest. Throughout your journey, fight those that lurk below while learning new skills to help you along the way. Will you uncover what's hidden, or become another corpse on the pile? I give it an 8 out of 10. The Ghost Train. Developed by Chilla's Arts, play as Kensuke Tanaka, an office worker who has to take the last train home every night. Enjoy the amenities, speak with the other patrons, and experience the psychological nightmares that occur on the train. Will you get home on time? I give it an 8 out of 10. Baba Is You. Developed by Hempuli Oi, play as Baba. Or a wall. Or anything really in this rule-breaking puzzler. Use the different conditions put in place to your advantage, or change them all together. What will you accomplish? I give it an 8 out of 10. Into the Breach. Developed by Subset Games, command a team of giant mechs in order to fight off an alien invasion. Make tactical decisions and take necessary losses to save as many people as possible. Will you protect everyone, or be forced to abandon the timeline? I give it an 8 out of 10. VVV. Developed by Terry Cavanaugh, play as Viridian, the captain of a ship who must search everywhere to save their crew. Change the flow of gravity to help traverse the many different levels and to find your lost friends. Do you have the skills to complete this quest? I give it an 8 out of 10. Madden Genesis. Developed by Blomco, play as the new guy, as he prepares for the big game against the Elders. Go through the different training exercises and use what you learn to reach the win zone. Will you take home the gold, or become a failure to your father? I give it an 8 out of 10. Old School RuneScape. Journey. Developed by That Game Company, embark through a desolate world on your way to a great mountain. Learn about the history of your ancestors as you solve puzzles while being joined by other travelers. Will you reach the end of your journey? I give it an 8 out of 10. Faith Chapter 1. Developed by Airdorf, play as John Ward, a priest returning to the house of his failed exorcism. Ward off demons and monsters as you try to finish what you started. Will you survive the horrors of the night? I give it an 8 out of 10. Limbo. Developed by PLAYDEAD, travel through a foggy world as you try to survive everything that lurks around you. Solve puzzles and avoid traps in this unforgiving purgatory. Keep your wits about you and you might make it out. I give it an 8 out of 10. Rusty Lake Roots. Developed by Rusty Lake, go through the lives of the Vanderbooms as their family tree grows and blossoms. Solve puzzles to guide them to their fate and experience the rise and fall of the house. Will you see how their stories end? I give it an 8 out of 10. Hotline Miami. Developed by Deventon Games, play as Jacket as you receive strange phone calls tasking him to commit violent acts. Use a variety of masks and weapons to creatively slaughter everyone in your path. Will you learn who these phone calls are coming from? I give it an 8 out of 10. The Henry Stickmin Collection. Developed by Puffballs United, play as Henry as he goes on reference-filled adventures with many lovable characters. Choose how you want to solve each issue while enjoying the many fails that occur along the way. Will you get all the endings? I give it an 8 out of 10. Nuts. Developed by June, enter the Melmoth Forest in order to track the squirrel population to prevent a giant construction project. Use your cameras and wit to follow the squirrels and find their stashes. What else will you find? I give it an 8 out of 10. Helltaker. Developed by Von Ripper, play as the Helltaker as he dives into the depths of hell to collect all the demon girls. Solve puzzles and use your charming words to build up your harem as you go deeper and deeper. Will you make it out alive? I give it an 8 out of 10. The Hex. Developed by Daniel Mullins Games, plays an assortment of forgotten video game characters dealing with a murder mystery. Go through each of their original games and learn of their rises and falls. Will you discover the truth behind this whole charade? I give it an 8 out of 10. The Stanley Parable. Developed by Galactic Cafe, play as Stanley as he battles the narrator for control over the story. Choose whether or not you follow instructions or find one of the many other paths. Will you get all the endings? I give it an 8 out of 10. Air Marty. Developed by Miles Jorgensen, play as Marty as he goes on a vacation with his family. Perform different tasks and advance your story based on if you succeed or fail. Will you reach the end? I give it an 8 out of 10. Katana Zero. Developed by ASCIIsoft, play as a mysterious samurai as he takes down targets and tries to understand his strange dreams. Use your ability to slow down your perception of time to clear through all that stand in your way. Will you take your medicine? I give it an 8 out of 10. Never-Ending Nightmares. Developed by Infinitap Games, play as Thomas as he's caught in an infinite loop of horrific dreams that he can't escape from. Explore your environment in search of a way out while trying to keep your life and sanity intact. Will you wake up from this hellscape? I give it an 8 out of 10. Slime Rancher. Developed by Monami Park, play as Beatrix as she travels around the far, far range as the newest rancher. Construct and upgrade buildings, discover and breed new slimes, and sell plorts for more money. What will you do on this relaxing farm? I give it an 8 out of 10. Happy Game. Developed by Amanita Design, play as a child as he suffers through a horrific nightmare full of traumatizing events. Wander around the surreal landscape and solve puzzles to try to find his long-lost treasures. Will you return his happiness? I give it an 8 out of 10. Farming Simulator 2008-2. Developed by Blomco, enter the state-of-the-art farming simulator and enjoy a wide variety of minigames. Milk cows, drive tractors, and fight off bandits. Will you become the farmer you always meant to be? I give it an 8 out of 10. Don't Starve. Developed by Clay Entertainment, enter The Constant, a world full of harsh environments and deadly creatures. Gather resources, construct buildings, and do everything you can to survive. Will you last through the night? I give it an 8 out of 10. Glittermitten Grove. Developed by Mostly Tiger Proof, create your own village of fairies and watch them thrive. Cut down trees, build buildings, and explore the caves for treasures. Will you find what's hidden beneath? I give it an 8 out of 10. The Convenience Store. Developed by Chilla's Arts, work the night shift at your local convenience store, walk to work, help customers, and try to survive the mysterious happenings of the store. Will you make it through the night? I give it an 8 out of 10. Kids. Developed by Mario von Rickenbach and Michael Frey, play as a mob of kids in a white void. Go through this surreal adventure full of crowds, holes, and tubes. Will you understand what this all means? I give it an 8 out of 10. Mini Metro. Developed by Dinosaur Polo Club, design your own metro system to let the different shapes get to their destinations. Get different upgrades to help account for the greater and greater demand. How long will you last? I give it an 8 out of 10. Cairo. Developed by Locked Door Puzzle, go through this abstract world full of strange landscapes and interesting machines. Explore each area and solve puzzles to try to bring the monuments back to life. Will you discover the purpose of these machines? I give it an 8 out of 10. A good snowman is hard to build. Developed by Alan Hazelden and Benjamin Davis, build your snowman friends and give them hugs. Grow snowballs to solve puzzles and discover even more friends to make. Will you find them all? I give it an 8 out of 10. The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Developed by Edmund McMillan and Nicholas, play as Isaac as you fight for your life in an ever-changing basement. Fight enemies, get strange upgrades, and delve deeper and deeper into the abyss. Will you defeat Mom? I give it an 8 out of 10. Cluster Truck. Developed by Landfall, go through this parkour wonderland jumping from truck to truck without touching the ground. Race through different worlds and challenges to get the best time and perform the coolest tricks. Will you truck it up? I give it an 8 out of 10. Grotesco Absurdus. Developed by Natalie Loganowski, go through this fever dream of a minigame collection to collect all the slices of pizza, fly rockets, punch birds, and guide pigs along with many other strange activities. Will you complete all the challenges? I give it an 8 out of 10. Kyokiyomi Considerate. Developed by Gmode, go through many hypothetical situations to determine how considerate you are. Try to be nice or act like a complete monster and see how fit you are for social interactions. Will you consider how to be considerate? I give it an 8 out of 10. Inscription. Developed by Daniel Mullins Games, play a card game against a deranged game master as you try to escape his log cabin. Strengthen your deck by making sacrifices and finding new creatures along your journey. Will you become a death card or find what's hidden deeper? I give it an 8 out of 10. Armored Head. Developed by Igor Rezanov, play as a robot fighting for their life in the arena of battle. Survive wave after wave of enemies, getting new and interesting weapons to mow down everything in your way. Will you survive till the end? I give it an 8 out of 10. I made a game with zombies in it. Developed by Ska Studios and Omniviolet, go through this top-down shooter fighting hordes of zombies and other monsters. Collect different power-ups to help you try to get the highest score. Will you make it to the end? I give it an 8 out of 10. Inside. Developed by PLAYDEAD, play as a young boy who finds himself traveling through a mysterious facility full of zombie-like puppets. Hide from those who control this factory as you use their own devices to help you on your own journey. Will you remain in one piece? I give it an 8 out of 10. The Endless Empty. Developed by Eric Sheetersmith, go through the mind of a post-life person as their reality slowly dissolves. Travel to the different areas of the brain, fighting many different creatures to get closure on this existence. Will you make it in time? I give it an 8 out of 10. Return of the Obra Dinn. Developed by Lucas Pope, explore an abandoned ship to learn the fates of the passengers and crew. Use a mysterious pocket watch to remember death as you look back in time at the moment of each person's end. Will you learn what really happened on that final voyage? I give it an 8 out of 10. Refunct. Developed by Dominic Greischhofer, go through this relaxing 3D platformer to try and press all the buttons. Develop your parkour skills to perform cool tricks and get the best times. Will you come back? I give it an 8 out of 10. Keep talking and nobody explodes. Developed by Steel Crate Games, find yourself with either a bomb or a bomb defusal manual as you work together to deactivate the explosives. Use your communication skills in high-stress environments to solve the puzzles while the timer continues to tick down. Will you make it in time? I give it an 8 out of 10.